What's good, family? Welcome back to another video. Thank you to all my new subscribers and current subscribers for supporting my channel. For new viewers, if you like today's video, please be sure to like, comment, and subscribe below. And as always, family, I wish you all inner peace, wealth, prosperity, and most of all, health. So today's video will be another exciting video. Today I'll talk about why I quit social media in 2020 and what I learned as a result of doing that. And so we'll go ahead and jump right in. So in 2020, pretty much that during that year, I had completed my undergraduate degree. And during that year, I felt very moved to just log off of social media overall. And so shortly after I graduated from college, I made the decision to quit social media. And so during that time period, there was a lot that I learned. And so what I'll do first is I'll give you all my top 7 reasons for why I quit social media in 2020. Reason number 1 was ultimately to focus on God, my purpose, and my true aspirations. So I felt during this time period, I just graduated from college. I was entering a new era, a new season in life, and I thought it was really important to focus on God, to focus on my true aspirations, and focus on my purpose. Uh, all the all the time prior to graduating, you're in school for all these years. There's a set schedule, set expectation, but upon graduation, life is truly what you make it. And so during this time period, I just really wanted to be more in tune with my true aspirations and not fall victim to what someone else wanted for me, or what others wanted for me, or what society wanted for me, or what anything that was external. I wanted to push out and focus more so on my internal thoughts, beliefs, and intuitions. I thought it was important to rely and depend on myself and God. And so during that time period, that was a huge reason why I decided to quit social media in 2020, was to really focus on God, my purpose, and my true aspirations. For example, if you're scrolling on Instagram every day and you keep seeing, let's say, a business, promo about a business that you can start. Let's say it's, I don't know, trucking, or maybe it's real estate, or maybe it's Airbnbs. And so you're viewing this content, and in your head you're like, oh wow, I can make so much money from this. Wow, so maybe I should just go ahead and try doing this, or yeah, let me just go ahead and try it out. But if that's not for you, it's not for you, and that's okay. And I think that's something that I think social media, it can convince people that if people allow it to, it can convince people what they should or shouldn't be doing, what we should or shouldn't be doing. And I think it's really important for us to really focus on our intuitions, focus on our true aspirations, and not fall victim to pressures from society or from social media, or any expectations outside of God and yourself. You shouldn't rely on it. You should always rely on God and yourself first. And it's really important to, trust your instinct, trust your gut. It's a real thing. So again, that's reason number 1, is to just really, focus on God, my purpose, and my true aspirations, and to just go internally, and not focus on external thoughts or ideas or influences. So reason number 2 why I quit social media in 2020, very related to the first reason actually, and many of the reasons I'll give later in this video, but ultimately to block out distractions. So I think it's important, to really be focused. It's important in life to be focused. Of course, enjoy life. I'm not saying you need to be type A or serious 24/7, but there definitely needs to be a level of focus. And so with that, I think cutting back on social media, it enabled me to focus, and enables us, for those of you who also decide to, do social media fast, or periods of time where you're not on social media, you know, it provides, opportunity to really focus more on what matters versus what doesn't matter, focus more on what, you know, one may actually need versus what you don't need. And so I think when you block out distractions, you really understand what's important and what's not important, what you need, what you don't need, and everything else, from that, everything else after that, I think it just falls into place, really, really nicely. And so I would say, moving on to the next reason why I quit social media in 2020, it was honestly to create time for my hobbies and creative projects. And so, for example, I like writing, journaling, photography, things of that nature, going outdoors, exercising. And so these hobbies and activities, they really, ignite my soul. I'm able to, get in my creative zone. I'm able to, fulfill my soul's desires, fulfill, whatever my soul is trying to communicate or put out, into the physical world, because remember, everything is spiritual before it is physical. And so, I think, it allowed me to create time for my hobbies and creative projects. And for me, that's a must in my life in order for me to feel fulfilled, in order for me to feel that I'm satisfying my soul. I need to have that time where I'm just solely focusing on, whether it's being creative, whether it's, self-care, whether it's just taking a moment to just really, be and honestly just enjoy my existence alone. Just enjoy my existence alone. It is really important to me, and I know to many others. And for those of you who, and it's important to me, and it's important to others. And so I definitely wanted to, highlight that as well. Excuse me, I wanted to highlight that as well in this video. That's a real. So, reason number 4 of why I quit social media in 2020 was to avoid the comparison game. So everyone knows that famous saying that comparison is the thief of joy. And honestly, it couldn't be any truer. Comparison is truly the thief of joy, because everyone has different journeys. Everyone started from different places in life. Everyone ends in different places in life. And everyone has a different set of experiences. Everyone is on a different timeline. Everyone has a different purpose, a different calling. So keeping that in mind, that's proof, enough that we shouldn't resort to comparing ourselves to others. And so I knew, I didn't want to, become a victim to that, to compare myself to others. I think it's more important to be in competition with yourself than it is to be in competition with others. You should always, every day, it should be a desire to be greater than who you were yesterday, rather than a desire to compete with someone else. I think it's foolish to compete with others, because you don't even know who you're competing with or what you're competing with, because everyone, again, has different set of challenges, circumstances, starting points in life, a different set of experiences, which leads to different purposes and different callings. And so comparison is truly the thief of joy. And, another reason why I personally quit social media in 2020 was to really focus on competing with myself and not fall victim to the comparison game, or competing with others. And so that was my 4th reason for why I quit social media in 2020. 5th reason why I quit social media in 2020 is that social media can honestly be very toxic and superficial. So social media in a lot of ways is very negative today. I would argue there's more negative media than there is positive media. And so it's important that we are careful of what we consume on a daily, whether it's our food, the media, music, so on and so forth. And so specifically, since this video is about social media, I'll touch on that. And so I quit social media because it's very negative. Every time you look at the news, it's negative. There's war, there's people dying, people being killed, uh, it's always something just that's low vibrational, and honestly, it's not good to consume that, consistently. If you're consistently consuming negative content, it actually starts to have an effect over your psyche, and then it starts to have an effect over you internally, and then from there you can become affected physically. So it's all a holistic approach. From one thing that can be negative, it starts to affect your entire existence, mentally, physically, spiritually, emotionally, just everything. And then it creates an imbalance in us. So that was a huge reason why I also quit social media in 2020. I realized it was very negative. I realized it a while ago, but at that point in my life, I just made the conscious decision that I was gonna, quit, and just focus on more, productive things, rather than, again, fall victim to consuming negative content. My sixth reason for why I quit social media in 2020 was to be more present, be focused more in the present and in tune with life. So I think it's really important to really be in the present moment and to really be in tune in life, in tune with life. Everything doesn't have to be a go, 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 or rush, 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 or instant gratification. We live in that type of society. We live in a society filled with instant gratification. Everything needs to be done now, but that's not realistic. That's not true life. True life is just being in the moment and really looking up. Taking time to smell the roses, taking time to do the work daily, taking time to really enjoy life daily, learn daily. And all of these things have one thing in common, which is consistency. So in life, in true life, it's important to understand that it's a long term game. Otherwise, it wouldn't be of any point in us coming to this earth. It wouldn't be any good reason for us to even have this physical experience in life if everything was instant, if everything was just given to us. That defeats the purpose of life. Through life, ultimately, life is a journey, and so through that journey, there's different timelines, there's different seasons, and from season to season, there's a level of things that have to occur in a chronological order. And so, overall, what I'm saying is be present in the moment, allow life to flow naturally like it wants to, and just really be in tune with the present. Being more in tune with the present, you're able to actually learn more, you're able to engage more with people, you're able to interact in a more in-depth manner, with your surroundings. And so I think it's really important to be in tune with life and be present in the moment. And also, something I wanted to iterate with this point is, unfortunately, we live in a society where if it wasn't posted, or if you didn't post it, it didn't happen. And that's really unfortunate, and I hate that we live in that kind of society. Just because someone doesn't post something, or just because it's not broadcasted, that doesn't mean it's happening. Someone doesn't have to post that they're doing XYZ for it to be true. So I think it's important to also understand that everything doesn't have to be posted, and just because it's not posted, that doesn't mean it's not happening. In fact, those who are offline and more in tune with life are actually doing more. And so that's the irony in that assumption of not posting, meaning that you're not doing, again, XYZ, whatever it is. You're actually more in tune with life when you block out, distractions, and, you're more present in the moment. You're not always, scrolling on your phone and, things of that nature. So reason number 6 was to just be more present and in tune with life. Reason number 7 for why I quit social media in 2020: a private life is honestly a happy life. And with this point, I also want to emphasize that a private life doesn't equate to secrecy too, because I think sometimes it can be misperceived incorrectly that's what a private life means. Oh, someone's living a secret life. No, it's not that a person's living a secret life. A private life is truly a happy life because you're more in tune and engaged with what matters versus what doesn't matter. You're engaged in real relationships in life with you have real friendships, you have real relationships with family members, you may have a real brotherhood, you may have a real sisterhood, whatever the case may be, but your relationships are real, they're authentic, you're in tune with the people who are in your life. You're in tune with your life. What matters to you, what gets you in the morning, what fulfills your soul. You're in tune with your purpose, your calling. You're in tune with God, and so all of those things to say that a private life is truly a happy life because you're able to, block out all the noise, you're able to block out all the distractions, and you're able to block out what society defines as success, and you're able to create success on your own terms and define success according to what you truly desire out of life. And so I think it's important to understand that privacy doesn't equate to secrecy. And overall, that was definitely one of my reasons also for quitting social media in 2020. Was that I naturally, have always been laid back, and I would say even when I did have, social media, I never posted often. I never posted a lot. I never, detailed. I was never, always detailing what I would do, throughout the day on a day-to-day basis. So I just think it's important to be more in tune with real life and be engaged in real relationships than to, consistently, just post, online or on the internet without a real purpose or cause, if that makes sense. So those are all the seven top reasons, the top 7 reasons why I decided to quit social media in 2020. And for the last portion of this video, guys, I'll talk about ultimately what I learned when I quit social media in 2020. So the first thing I would say I learned was who was truly for me and who was truly against me or had bad intentions. I will say that when you decide to log off of social media and be more in tune with life and just your immediate surroundings and everything that's occurring in your existence, I definitely would say that a lot of revelations will be revealed, and so I've received a lot of revelations regarding friendships, or even some familial relationships. So I think, something that I really learned when I logged off and quit social media in 2020 was ultimately who was truly for me and who was truly against me or had bad intentions or hidden agendas. So that's one of the first things I learned. But it was all for my good, though, because honestly, on this journey, it's important to continue to, elevate and continue to, seek, my highest potential. And all of you, I wish the same, that you all seek your highest potential as well. And it comes with the territory. It comes with the territory. As you seek your highest potential, there will be things that, moving pieces around you that, some things will fall apart, some things will come together, but it's all a part of that cycle of you achieving and seeking your highest potential. The second thing I learned when I logged off of social media was how much time, I wasted scrolling on it before. And so that was something that I also made a note of when I did finally log off was, wow, now I have all this time. I wasn't, scrolling anymore. I wasn't on any social media apps at that point. So it was really liberating in that sense. Something else that I learned when I quit social media in 2020 was just the spiritual wealth that's obtained by spending time outside in nature and developing a relationship with the natural world. I think this is really important, and we live in a time in history, a moment in time where our relationship with the natural world has been attacked, and now it's being made out to be something that's weird, and it's not weird. Having a relationship with nature and the natural world, that's the very part of our essence. And that's the very part of even why we're here. And that's also how we receive stronger communication is outside in nature. And I'm living proof and testimony to that. And so during this time period, I really, was able to obtain spiritual wealth in that regard by spending time outside in nature and just really spending time outdoors and, re developing my relationship with nature. And then I also would urge everyone, take yourself out. Like, go out. Don't be afraid to take yourself out. Maybe take yourself out to dinner or to the movies, or maybe you go for a walk alone, go for a jog alone. Also, just take pride in taking yourself, places or going out and engaging in activities by yourself. I do it quite often actually, and it's quite rewarding. And so, definitely don't be afraid to do that as well. Something else I wanted to point out is that living in your truth and on your own terms is the most liberating thing that you can do in this lifetime and in your lifetime. And so, definitely something that I also really wanted to highlight as well. And then I would say, lastly, something that I learned during this time period, ultimately, this is the most important aspect of my time spent off of social media and why I even quit in 2020. So the most important thing I learned, honestly, was who I am as a black man and who God has called me to be. And I learned so much about myself and about God during my time offline, during my time doing the inner work offline. And so I would say that to me was the most important aspect of this time spent offline and the most important component of my journey, and the greatest thing I achieved by quitting social media in 2020. And so I, encourage everyone, maybe at least try a periodic social media fast if you don't commit to it completely. But I definitely, I suggest everyone. I'm always, an advocate for quitting social media, or if you don't quit it completely, maybe limiting your consumption of it or your time spent on it. I can promise you that, life becomes much more, elevated when you decide to quit social media. And so I hope you all enjoyed today's video. Again, as I said, thank you to my new subscribers and my current subscribers for your continued support of my channel. For new viewers, if you like today's content, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe below. And as always, family, I wish you all inner peace, wealth, prosperity, and most importantly, health.